بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم الحمد للہ رب العالمین والصلاة والسلام علی سید المرسلین وعلی آلہ واصحابہ اجمعین اما بعد خلق الانسان فی احسن تقویم صدق اللہ العظیم. My dear brothers, sisters and the listeners, Alhamdulillah, we are on the day of 12th Rabiul Awwal today, present in the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a masjid in Staten Island, New York. And we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this privilege to be here at this time in our existence, in our life, and in the existence of this universe. If you just reflect a little bit upon how blessed we are, just imagine that we are actually seeing spread of Islam in America in a very, very satisfactory and fast pace. And the picture of Islam that is being presented here is, mashallah, very satisfactory and comprehensive. Alhamdulillah, the divine book Al-Quran, living book, has been translated in many languages, in practically all the languages in the world. And people have the ability now to benefit from the message that is in that divine book. All of this is possible today, 1500 years after the birth of our beloved Prophet. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His wisdom created this universe and brought down the final messenger at a time when His final message that was for the entire universe, for the entire humanity and entire, I would say, creation, could be preserved, delivered to them, and made it easy for them to follow it. This is not a coincidence. Everything that is happening is in the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and there is a wisdom behind all of that. So we cannot thank Him enough for being where we are today, mashallah, and we hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept our efforts and our intention to give His message on to His creation, like our beloved Prophet had advised us in his final sermon, final khutbah, that those who are listening to me right now, please pass it on to those that are not here, and they should do so to others that follow them. So that message really does not belong only to us. It belongs to the entire humanity, and we have to pass that on. And alhamdulillah, to our best capacity, we are doing it. Now, a couple of things I wanted to mention. I listened to our speakers last night here also, and these days you can easily go on the internet and watch what people put on small little artificial intelligence kind of created things, sometimes put on YouTube, take speeches from different areas, different people, different kind of opinions, and mix them together and then give their own opinion and give an impression as if they are really advising us or guiding us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the wisdom and give us this kind of an understanding that whatever we say usually is our opinion, the way we perceive it. And that does not have to be really the true meaning or true profound inference that can be drawn from those kind of ahadith or Quranic verses. For that reason, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has warned us in Al-Quran, in Surah Al-Yusuf, that for every knowledgeable person there is one that has more knowledge. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَفَوْقَ ذِي كُلِّ عِلْمٍ عَلِيمٍ. There is always one knowledgeable person that knows more than the one that thinks he or she is knowledgeable. So we should always, whenever we speak on any subject that has to deal with divine message or the hadith or instructions from our beloved Prophet, we should always say that according to what I believe, to the extent that I understand, this is what it means. But then again, people have an option of having an opinion of their own. And here, Sherry, please. This is interference. So, I'm sorry. Always leave room for yourself to feel that you can retract what you said before. I can give you perfect example of science. Being a medical professional, I can tell you that we have been practicing medicine in certain ways and treating people in certain ways that now we know we were wrong. We have proven ourselves wrong as our education and our knowledge about human body increased. Similarly, all those religious scholars that think they understand Al-Quran, they should think again, because the messages hidden within Al-Quran, the true essence of the messages, is not necessarily comprehensible for most of us or many of us. And we should always recognize that it may be that in future our opinion about this particular matter might change. So leave room for yourself. Always be humble before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, especially before His message, so that you are not really putting yourself in a position where you think you are giving a fatwa, which is the final verdict about a particular matter. I can give you an example of Milad, the way we celebrated yesterday. Many people may find different things. Many people may find that this was not right, that was not right, that we should not turn this light on and that light off. All of that is interpretation of people. They say, if beloved Prophet didn't do it, his companions didn't do it, why should we do it? You tell them your beloved Prophet did not go to school. Are you also not supposed to go to school? Your beloved Prophet was taught by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How much knowledge are you getting directly from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala yourself? He never wrote certain things. He never wrote a car. You should stop using a car or any other. All of that is basically left to people's interpretation depending on the knowledge base they have. That they should leave that room open to themselves. They may be right. They may be 100% right, they think, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows better. So this is one thing that I think is very essential today. If you watch your television or if you work on your computer and you see these things that are being broadcast, a lot needs to be desired, a lot needs to change. And unfortunately, we are now bringing out people from madrasas, children that are in their late teens or early 20s, and they are thinking that they know because they read this book and they read that book. Human brain does not mature until it's a certain age. Human brain has a certain tendency to grow and develop, use that data that it gets from 5 senses, or now we call it 6 senses, and then derives inferences from it, and that's the wisdom that comes in. And then that wisdom actually is what constructs your bayan. Ar-Rahman allama al-Quran, khalaqa al-insan allamahul bayan. Bayan that humans have, no other creation has. And that bayan is when to speak, how much to talk, what to say, where not to say anything at a particular point. All of that has to be done with a particular background, with a particular understanding. If one does not watch those things, then there is possibility of really making mistakes. And when you actually talk negatively, this is important. If you tell somebody the brother, the way he's praying is not acceptable, then you have put your neck on the line, because you have given a fatwa about somebody in a negative way. And whenever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that, hadith also tell you that if you label a Muslim as a mushrik or a kafir, then you will never be forgiven until that person forgives you. So do not give a negative fatwa about anybody. You have something nice to say about someone, something nice to say about some activity that you learned from, of course, say that. That is very ahsan with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But trying to give fatwa in a situation where you yourself need guidance, and your brain is not mature, you do not have the wisdom yet, you do not have all of that. And in that situation, it's better to stay quiet. It's better basically to just say that the way I understand it, this is the right way to do it. But then again, Allah knows best, and you can always refer to the original message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The other thing I wanted to mention was that guidance, all of it, comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And for that guidance, you have to look within your heart, within yourself. There is a being within our body which is a organ that will never, from the literature that we see, that particular organ will never actually die, even when you are buried in the grave, the way the literature says, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. But anyway, that probably answers the question as to where the heartbeat starts. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blown off his ruh, from his ruh into humans as they are born, and that particular ruh is from a different world, different kind of sphere of life, and that is non-destructible, that stays alive. Now, where is that located in the chest? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. But there is a place like that they say that is always alive. So this is why when our beloved Prophet used to go to the graveyard or cemetery at Jannatul Baqi, he would say, Assalamu alaikum ya ahlal qabur. And obviously, he knew that they hear and they respond, but we cannot, of course, understand those things that are that spiritual. But these things are properly recorded, and it's claimed, the way I read it, and some people assert with tremendous satisfaction, that whenever you go to cemetery and you visit your relatives, those that have passed on before you and others, you should say that and believe that they are listening to you and they may be even responding to you. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. I'll basically say that there is a whole lot of universe out there that we are not really knowledgeable about too much, but we should not deny it, because it's in the literature, and there is a whole lot that has to be looked at one way or the other. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to connect us to our hearts and liven our hearts, put a life into that, develop our spiritual being so that we can connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, make that intention. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala draws us closer to Him. Then He can give us that knowledge, that kind of an ability where we can comprehend and understand His method better so that we can serve His creation. Jazakumullahu khair. Assalamu alaikum.